Battle started.
G'day friends, Merry Christmas to the Beyond All Reason community from AllReasonNoLogic. We're sending out the festive love. I'm Twig and we are bringing you a cast of one of our latest Kings of the Hill adventures. We stream Sundays, be sure to join the Discord, link in the description below. While you're at it, hit subscribe and you'll get that stream notification when these games are advertised. For those who don't know this game type, King of the Hill, it sees kings with a 40% economic advantage on this map. This changes depending on the map. No rush timer is 10 minutes, and those no rush zones, the peasants cannot leave this circle here that I'm about to draw. So they need to stay to that outer ring, and each of the kings need to stay within the hill that they start on for those 10 minutes. No structures at any point in the game are allowed to hit any of the economic centers that players start in. So no long range artillery, no Junos into the base, but you can put them elsewhere, etc. You must defeat your triangle in this map. So just looking over in my lane, before I can go and help out my fellow kings, I need to beat both of these teal players, the cyan and the teal player, before I can move on either to Flash or Chronographer. Shout out to Flash, one of the higher rated members of the Beyond All Reason community, coming in at 47 OS, playing as Cortex down there. 4 kings as well, obviously, with that bonus. When you reclaim something, you get that bonus. We expect that kings only reclaim what they usually would in a game, so reclaiming that T1 lab to build a T2 lab, etc. So they can't abuse that bonus. And for the peasants, co-op eco is encouraged and allowed. We do think that if every peasant did that though in all game modes, I think they'll be a bit too strong, so we'd have to evaluate that in the future. But right now it seems to work well, where we see a good balance of king versus peasant wins. And when that 10-minute rush expires, you can go and build eco anywhere, including down in this middle part of the map. Seems to always be missed in Claymore. Everyone's so distracted by what's happening in their lanes. Quick look at the economies. So we're only a couple minutes in here. All the kings, you can see, are a little bit ahead of the peasants, but some of the shared ecos have put some of those peasants quite high, not too far behind the kings. Nicely seen out of jar here. You can see 6 constructors out. So with that extra eco, just getting a whole bunch of T1 constructors out and making sure that you've got plenty of wind and penny conversion going by that 10-minute mark is ideal. You want to go for that T2 transition somewhere around the 4-minute mark, 5-minute mark, so that you can upgrade those 3 mexes. But the real focus is just getting that eco strong enough so that you don't delay in the transition. Duffy going into vehicles straight away. Wonder what the tactic is behind that. We'll see. All the kings doing something a little bit different. ESFR accidentally breaking the rules here. I don't think quite knew that they need to start at the top of the hill, and ooh, a little bit dodgy there. Realize what's happening. Reclaiming what they were building. That's a no-no. Tisk tisk. So you can see there I've got 5 constructors out. That's my sweet spot. A very early T2 transition for Platypus here, and I think we're going to see the metal stalled out, and then subsequently the wind with only 17 up at the moment. You want to probably get around that 30 mark before doing that T2 transition on this map, with a wind between 6 and 19, which is quite healthy. Now, do we have an extra player in this map? We do. You can see Fishhouse Mike over in this side here helping out Unman and Sergeant Raccoon by sharing economy between them. This map only fitting 10 peasants around the map, but obviously there's 11 of them, so one person not getting in position. So unfortunate for Duffy, it's a 3 versus 2, although that third player isn't really an economic center like the others. Put out a constructor, but I don't know why. Maybe that was a little bit of that reclaim shenanigans I was talking about. hopefully, speaking to devs, we can stop those reclaim bonuses for kings. It'd be great if we can just have it that they get the reclaim that everyone gets. Just the standard build a lab, you get the same metal back when you reclaim it, so that there's no abuse of that. Very early defenses out of the orange player. I don't mind it, but you really want to focus that metal on the economy and then build this a little bit later around the 7 or 8 minute mark with the 10-minute timer, and then from the 8 minutes onwards you want to be building units. T2 lab up finally for Platypus, and looking around the map. T2 coming up for green shortly at the 6 minute mark, not bad. We're up for Dark Merlin. We're up for both green players in fact. Bondman almost finishing theirs. Same goes for Sergeant Raccoon. And a complete combined eco here for Flash and Lukey. How is that affecting the economy? So we've got 5,500 metal produced. Yeah, essentially equivalent of some of the kings here. So against their player, the orange player, almost neck and neck for economy. So this is going to turn into a 1 versus 1, except you're going to have 2 players here that are able to combine their eco. Combine their micro. Cool, therefore, some shared metal. It is a good idea to share those constructors. Oh, I can see a mix that hadn't been built there. That's very late. You really want to get all those mixes on the outside as the peasants, just so that you building with the most efficiency possible. Final T2 lab coming up for EFSYR at this stage of the game. A little bit late for the Kings. Oh, Jar also in that instance hasn't built yet. And that's what happens, I think, all that metal there in, what have we got? The beamer turrets, the LLTs, and these 3 extra construction towers. That's combined about 2,000 metal there. So the cost of almost that whole advanced bot lab could have gone into that bot lab a little bit earlier, and then upgraded those mixers, then built these. Oh, there's more down here as well. That is a lot of economy into the tower defense. Showing us how it's done over here, Duffy, already going into that second fusion reactor. Rarely see 2 fusions up in this game mode for a king before that timer elapses. I've usually only managed to get 1 up in time. You can see my first one's going down now. I go the cloakables. Oh, reclaimed it. Decided that I couldn't afford it quite yet until those mixes are up. But then it goes back down. So if I do get raided by a ton of units, I can keep that cloaked and make sure that it's not targeted straight away. Got a gremlin ready to go, I don't mind that. It's important to also scout with those radars. Every player should have a radar either up on that front line there and then on those hills, just to make sure that they've got full scouting range, know who they're up against as well. So yeah, if I was our orange player here, just looking at their player view, they can see they are up against Flash and Lukey, probably getting a little bit nervous. Maybe that's what's prompted all these defenses. But now stalling out on metal. Very late in the game as well, 8 minutes 25 and still on the T1 mixes, so you want to really make sure you got those up early. Also a good idea not to group your construction turrets. I like to spread mine out just like this to make sure that they all don't fall down if I get raided, because tick spam and grunt spam and pawn stand at the start of these games is very common, and that seems to be what does most of the damage. So a base like this here will go pop a lot easier with everything so grouped up like this. This is another way to do it. If you've got mass turrets, just putting that separation in between them so if one lot goes down, the other doesn't. 1 minute left. Have we got units coming out? Plenty of Mauses, I don't mind that, especially when we're not up against much right now. And I definitely was very late with getting units out at this stage. We've got 2 bot labs ready to go for some spam, but I reckon I'm going to have it tough right there. Hopefully we don't fall. I don't remember how this one went. And this is more like what you want to see, Duffy putting those towers up right at the last minute. The construction bots are already there. And very late comm explosion there. Just trying to get units out fast enough. Quick look at the ecos of the last 10 seconds. And King's a very healthy state. And then we've got Flash up there with the same economy as the player he's up against. So once again, the only advantage there is going to be the fact that the units are ready to go in. And the 10 minutes elapses. Might have to jump back if we miss a couple of these lanes. Who's going to get hit first? Got range here. So those defenses not going to do much against Sheldon's. And the spy bot just taking these out, so that's the radar. Oh no, some ghosts. Pinged a little bit late, jumping over to my lane. These Mausers are doing quick work of most stuff, and those Jaguars really hurting, but those beamer turrets just enough to keep them off. I think I might lose a little bit of eco here. I was very lucky. This player here should have been putting these slugs straight in a little bit earlier and attacking at the same time. When you're the peasant team, you want to just make sure you combine that first initial attack. And just shutting this down with welders, but losing a little bit of eco there. Looking around. Duffy doing work with hounds. And Zachcraft going in with fiends and not enough units out. Oh, going into a fusion, that's not what you want to do. Dark Merlin. And dropping out of the game just like that. Hate to see it. Very unfortunate. You got to build units in this game style. Oh, and I missed this flash in. In fact, let's rewind and check that one out. So jumping back a few seconds, and we're looking at Flash's lane with Luki. You can see Luki controlling the masses and Flash using that spy bot just to keep some distance and getting that scouting information. And the grunts are pulled, so we're going to probably see this base go down pretty quickly. Nicely played, good coordination between these two players. A lot of experience there from Flash and also Luki doing their part with some great aggression with those grunts. And that's going to be the economy that goes down. The grunts doing the work there. I like to see Jar just doing the control D on all of these units, all these structures, just so that metal is not reclaimed. Maybe we'll see this commander try and run away. I don't think we're going to get there though. A very quick base destruction, that's what you want to see out of the peasants team. You just push real hard right at the start, make sure you have the units, because units are what win it, before the kings can go forward and do all the damage. Very well played. Spiders coming up the back of Zachcraft's base. Nicely played by Space Rice Rub. And that's what happens, you got that real tight economy and bang, everything down. So that is two kings essentially knocked out of the game. Plenty of fiends here though. So lane defeated. So Zachcraft can move on to another lane, but taken out at the exact same time as winning their lane, just by those few spiders. Oh, so close. That final spider just going down. So not a total shutdown. The use of these spectres is just really overpowered. Like the kings aren't going to get a counter intrusion system at this stage of the game, so not much to detect these. These welders got to get marching, otherwise they're just going to get a lot of damage on the face. The Duffy actually pretty much winning their lane almost, but unfortunately at this stage of the game, because Flash has gone so quick, Oh, the nasty self-destruct of that spy bot. Focusing on those welders that are still alive, and then we know that that's a quite a long freeze there, but not quite quick enough to taking them all out. Getting them back now, trying to heal them up. Tick's a good answer for this, except those few grunts will shut them down pretty quickly. So if Duffy was able to take out those grunts, those Sheldons would be quite susceptible to damage. Probably not the best pull there, losing almost all of those. So now the ticks are going to do some work.
Battle paused. Battle started.
This is the time for Bondman to attack, while all the defense for Duffy is over on this side. How are we looking around the map? I've just pulled my welders. I went mass welders in this game, managed to walk them through both bases. So real strong out of the teal player and the cyan player at the start of the game, but I managed to push back with those welders after that initial push. And here's going to be the damage coming out of these arbiters. Not much is going to stop them, so wouldn't even mind them being parked over here and just sneaking some grunts up down the lane here. You can actually walk up right around this edge here. You can get quite close for those units. Just hitting the shortcut, you can see, yeah, they can just walk up those green spots there. Some snipers out. He's doing really good here to hold against 3 players. Reclaim going in the background. It's important never to give up. Or are we going to see these go pop? I reckon we might. You can see that build power going down, but that second lot of build power stays up. So nice spacing there by Duffy. I think this is just too much out of these Sheldons. While that's going on, I've just kept these marching going around, and now Flash, whilst they're harassing the yellow base, has handed all those units over to the purple player so that it can focus on defense. Do love the welder. They are a very durable unit, and just putting out a lot of damage. I didn't do a very good job of microing here, but taking out those mexes. And that shuts down the blue base. So we've got 2 kings fallen. Mind you, one of them didn't totally die. Zachcraft doing good to rebuild right now. And most of the peasants down at this stage, so definitely looking like the advantage is with the kings right now. Hounds are out just to combat these Sheldons, because the pace on the Sheldons outpaces the welders, so they were doing a bit of damage, but where the micro is not happening, I'm able to... Oh, commander, we get it? Yes, we did. I think that's just about done for the base there, and those welders going to shut down all the reclaim as well. Now the green player has rebuilt, and they're trying to go back and defeat their lane. This is allowed because this is still their lane. Nice pull out of these pawns, going around it, and we're going to get the build power. This is why you never give up. You can really make a difference. Ooh, that hurts. So close. Oh no. And now Duffy unfortunately falling to these 2 players. EFSYR taking out one of the peasants, and now it's just 1-on-1 with the commander. I think we might see a win there. I have ignored the fact that there's a bit of a build-up going back on with Sinister Platypus. Once again, good to never give up. Luckily, we're in a good position around the map. If we weren't, this is it doesn't take long to get enough of an eco back up to get a small army of grunts or pawns and then sneak on through. Definitely got some open paths here without defense, especially on this left-hand side. That craft's done really good to rebuild and get these units out, just lacking a little bit on energy, but that's going to be rebuilt with the resurrect function from these grave robbers. But unfortunately we're under attack again, so might not quite get it up in time. Thanks for the rescue. Didn't quite notice this. Technically this base isn't dead, so pink shouldn't have been taking their base out, their units out of the base. That's a little bit of a naughty. Hopefully we can get this game mode integrated into the full game so that we can prevent things like this happening, sticking to your lane until the commander's dead. I don't think that'll be possible. That sounds like quite a technical thing to do. I'm not very good with that stuff. My background being construction, so definitely not in game development. Really nicely done by Zachcraft there. I've switched over to spiders, just such a good unit to get up the back of these hills and make sure nothing is getting reclaimed or attacked there, making sure that eco doesn't come back. Constantly harassing with these ticks. We take out this build power. Sorry, flash. Looks like we get it. Bondmen doing really good. Off of just one fusion as well. Once again, only one fusion, and you can see how many units we got out just from that one fusion. So quite an army here. I don't know how Zach's going to beat this. Having said that, they seem to keep coming back. One thing to improve on here would be to change all these hounds to Gauss mode, making sure we actually hit the targets. You can see how much we're missing even just that one fiend there. Let's get a screenshot. Nice little battle here. I think I just missed it though. Maybe not the best one there. Two kings down. One, I can't tell if they're going to win or lose. Somewhat of a more even game than what we see here, but this is where myself and BFSYR, always hard to pronounce those random letter games, names, sorry, able to just expand our economy there. So it's going to be very hard to defeat us at this stage. Flash doing really well just to keep those Sheldons pumped out, and I think they must have been resurrected actually. Stop me from building up or pushing any further towards those right hand bases, which are still healthy for most of those peasants. So yeah, nicely done by Zach. Managed to hold there and take out most of these hounds, which are still on heavy plasma mode, and they just do not do the damage against the moving targets. There we go, that's a better one with some ripped signs in the middle. I think Flash's commander was the target at this stage of the game from memory. You can see the comments there. He's actually rebuilding stronger than ever. A sign of a true pro. Never giving up. Keeping things moving. I think these spiders though, just a little bit too much to take on even as the pro. Sheldon's going down quite easy to those missiles. but I'm doing a terrible job of microing. And now we've got 2 bases being invaded on the right hand side by Pank. Very nicely done. Keeping those moving. 2 different armies being microed at once. Very well played. And we got the resign vote called with only 2 bases left. It's 2.5 versus 3. 2.5 really. Fish House Mike, nicely done, just sharing that eco throughout the game. But that's a King's victory by the looks of it. If you guys want to join in on these, hit add to our Discord channel. The link's in the description below. Also hit subscribe and you'll get a notification when we're streaming these games if you want to join in. They're definitely fun ones. We're still playing a little bit with the rules for these. Obviously a little bit finicky, and different maps see different bonuses and different rules applied. But certainly fun ones. And there we see the resign vote accepted by all players. Very nicely played by all parts. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Quick look at the statistics.
Battle ended.
See how nicely Zach done, even when losing that base completely. Getting the couple of awards there. Very well played. And the damage efficiency just ahead on the Kings. Metal Producer obviously very powerful. When you can win a lane early, you can see how much the economies exploded for myself and Pank. And then nicely played by all the peasants on the team. Flash doing so much damage, even out damaging 2 of the Kings. So very well played there. We hope you have a Merry Christmas from AllReasonNoLogic. We might miss a few casts between now and the new year, just over this festive season. So, till next time.